True crime is one of the most popular genres on YouTube at the moment, with thousands of channels raking in millions of views per video on school threats, deadly family drama, or even just people like this. And of course it does well. We all like interesting stories and seeing people worse off than us to make ourselves feel better. It's like when you were in school and the fat kid got in trouble. You always wanted to know what the drama was and observe from the sidelines. It's natural. So you'd think this type of content would have blown up on YouTube from the very start, but honestly it really didn't. In the early days of YouTube, I guess different genres just overshadowed it. It's never been very high effort content to begin with the concept essentially being to just rip footage that's publicly available and either talk over it saying the obvious or just show it in its entirety. But then you know what happened. JCS, or Jim Can't Swim Criminal Psychology, is a channel that started in 2019, going over true crime stories and videos and hyper-analyzing the interrogations. This guy knows what he's doing and has clearly done his research. He knows many terms that real detectives use, and the body language that suspects make and what it means.
There's blood in your apartment, Steven. You didn't get it all up.
This is the widely recognized
Some of you
futility technique,
guys
which is
don't
used to make
think.
the subject believe it is useless to resist
Yeah,
due to the
you don't
overwhelming
think.
evidence against them.
I remember watching his videos back in 2020 and really enjoying them, and he was doing well for himself. That was until this one. If you were paying attention on YouTube in 2021, you'll remember this video. It was assaulting everyone's recommended page, and for good reason. It's a great video, but it went absolutely ballistic, and everyone I knew at the time had watched it. And when content farm channels see something get popular, they know exactly what to do. This brings us to Courtroom Consequences, the main focus of my video today. And just look at this variety of content we have before our very eyes.
They tasted like candy.
She fucking wanted it! Don't take my life!
I burned them for fun.
Nobody fucks with bloods.
Could I have a bear in jail?
Oh, I wish I killed more of them!
Fuck all y'all! You don't fuck with the cartel.
Fuck all y'all, man.
Your family is next.
I like baby killers just like.
Here's a game I like to play with this channel. Look at the AI-generated thumbnails and try to find the person who's on them in the video. Let's try this one, which appears to have this AI-generated kid with a pen in his hand, it seems. I don't know what kind of a pen does that. It kind of just molds into his thumb. It also seems like he only has 4 fingers, so I guess the AI was kind of slacking on this one. Much like the Moist Critical situation, nobody really has a problem with this type of content, by the way. It's all fine. I mean, I don't really see a problem with it. I don't really know what the big deal is. Skimming through the video, you'll see that this mysterious AI-generated angel unfortunately does not appear in the video. How about we try another one? How about this one? I'm not an expert on this type of stuff, but I'm pretty sure they wouldn't let him wear that in the courtroom. Let's see if we can find where he appears. Skimming through the video, it doesn't really seem like he appears in it, but I'm sure it's just bad luck. Let's try another one. Let's see if we can find where this one appears. Or this fellow. Or this guy. Yeah, they're all like this, by the way. This is YouTube now. If I haven't made it clear enough, I believe this type of true crime content started evolving once the JCS video came out. And now that JCS has been completely nuked by YouTube because they don't value good content here, all they value is slop like this, these channels can run as rampant as they want because this is what you're supposed to like. It goes without saying that these videos are complete shit. Every single one is either a courtroom situation that's boring or you've already seen it. All the videos are basically AI-generated, boring, unchallenging garbage that use every trick in the book to make the divorced moms who watch this type of shit click on them. This type of ominous figure with a quote they never said in the text is my least favorite brand of YouTube thumbnail, by the way. Again, they try every trick in the book to make it look as appealing as possible, and when you actually click on it, it's the most
hollow, minimal, repetitive, stock courtroom videos that you've definitely seen before if you care at all about this type of content.
In the newer releases, they seem to be obsessed with these weird masks and saw trap devices on the suspects' heads. I'm sure it's because whatever formula they use to make these types of videos told them that stuff like this sells for some reason. They've actually gotten so lazy as of late, they've started reusing the AI images in multiple videos. You may be wondering why I'm only talking about the thumbnails, and that's because that's the only interesting part. Again, the videos are all the same thing. They're either courtroom situations you've already seen or blah blah blah, you get it. They're nothing. The videos are nothing. Needless to say, this channel is not somebody's first try. It's almost like an experiment to see what will work. I wonder how many experiments were like this that didn't take off. The quality control has fallen so hard on this website that it really does work. And YouTube is perfectly fine with keeping this stuff up, even with their policies on robotic content and spam and all that. This channel hasn't even been around for a year yet, and it's already amassed an army of 600,000 subscribers. Subscribers who don't care what they watch because nobody cares anymore. People will watch whatever slop the algorithm shoves at them because doomscrolling is an epidemic. This channel is just so fucking funny to me. The thumbnails are so stupid and over the top, and are clearly made to be taken seriously. All of them have that AI shimmer on these crazy characters, so you'd expect the videos to be outlandish as well, right? This channel has been the main example in this video, but trust me, they're not the only ones who found the loophole. After JCS was nuked by YouTube and wasn't around for a while, many JCS-inspired videos began popping up, and honestly, they weren't all that bad. This is when people began tapping into the market but didn't quite realize how exploitable it was. The JCS-inspired videos really do show that he was the sole culprit of the true crime explosion on YouTube. And it's a shame because he's genuinely passionate. His videos and their thumbnails follow kind of a similar structure to these leech channels now that I think about it more. He was like them in the way that he knew how to play the YouTube game. The main difference being that his channel was actually good and worth your time. His thumbnails follow the meta of having a person on them with a quote. But the main difference is that these are real people who actually said these things. You think I wouldn't even have to say that, but this is just how things are now, I guess. Even outside of the true crime category. These are the types of videos that appear on trending. This is the type of content that YouTube strives for, and the stuff that you're supposed to make and like, I guess. And just a side note, yes you, watching this video, you could put 3 years on a fresh channel making some of the best content you're capable of, putting everything into it, and you won't get a tenth of the views these channels do 3 months after they're created. The state of this platform is great right now. JCS was nuked for his content being too controversial, so we can get a flow of masterpieces like this. Speaking of which, you may be wondering why I'm comparing a sort of criminal behavior analysis channel to a simple montage of courtroom occurrences type thing. Their content really isn't that similar. So let me introduce you to another parasite, the villains. So right off the bat, you can see this channel isn't anywhere as stupid or over the top as Courtroom Consequences. It's bland, unchallenging, JCS-inspired content that made the channel explode in popularity. They started off about a year ago making mob videos or some shit, but immediately jumped on the bandwagon, and look at them now. Can you tell how easy this shit is to make? They started off making content they actually wanted to, which didn't really get them anywhere. So now they just rot away making copy-paste true crime shit. And when I say copy-paste, I actually mean it in this case. The Villains has been accused with a lot of evidence of stealing the entirety of other people's videos and using it as background footage. Like Morbid Curiosity, for example. Another creator who makes kinda samey JCS-inspired stuff.
By the time you see this video that you're watching right now, The Villains has amassed over 15 million views from 3 videos in particular, with one of those getting over 10 million views by itself. And all 3 of those videos took my subtitling, my editing, my research, my work, and to keep the cooking metaphors going, they just changed the garnish on it.
The content is so samey, in fact, that nobody can tell the difference, so nobody noticed. Anyways, back to the channel. After realizing making the content he actually wanted to wasn't working out, he decided to play by the rules and make more clickbait. Instead of the crazy characters, though, he just does the much more bland approach of just putting girls' asses and partial nudity on the thumbnails. Come on, man, that's the best you could think of? That's like the 2016 method. At least be funny like this channel. For example, here we have this chick and what appears to be a fucking guillotine in the thumbnail. Do either of these appear in the video? No, of course not. Or we have this one where a pilot is interviewed, and in the thumbnail, to make it look more appealing, they have him wearing this pasted-on pilot's uniform. You can tell it's fake just from the thumbnail, it's just funny to me. I mean, nothing else really stands out here besides that. They kind of just shit out 3 videos a week and see what sticks. You've got your red circle and arrow thumbnails with obnoxious text. Still not nearly as good as these, by the way. A channel that gave up on its passion to suck YouTube's cock. It's just more of the same besides the stolen content and occasionally extremely clickbait thumbnails when he gets desperate. I'm not sure how you can make a 20 to 40 minute video every few days, but I guess the content is just that easy to make. You can drag it out and talk about the most boring stories and useless details in them to stretch out the videos even further because YouTube favors watch time above all else. Yeah, you wonder why channels like Explore With Us have videos that are like 3 fucking hours long when they shouldn't be? It's because of that. YouTube prioritizing watch time really fucked over some of the best creators, and essentially turned the platform into quantity over quality. Why bother making a 3-minute animation once every few months, when you could make a 30-minute video on an interrogation that's already been covered to death every few days and make way more money? Why even bother? Nobody has an issue with it anyways, this is perfectly fine. Let's go back to some of the funny channels and do a bit of a speed round. If you like Courtroom Consequences, you'll love Courtroom Investigation, which makes pretty much the same type of content, even down to using the exact same AI characters sometimes. Nothing can convince me that these types of videos aren't cloned in a factory at this point. Fortunately, this channel has been a lot less successful, which might be showing some fatigue in this slop. Maybe this means people will stop rotting on their phones, lying down on their beds, spaced out, and actually watch something more worthwhile, instead of stuff like this, right? Maybe they'll snap out of it instead of watching a 30-minute AI-generated video with the most blank-face expression you've ever seen. Well, anyways, this channel started off pretty humbly, and get this, actually used thumbnails with real people in them that they were actually talking about. They were so innocent and starry-eyed before succumbing to the YouTube's Metaslave program and selling their soul. I mean, they still use the fake text, but you know, it's an improvement. Sadly though, they fell into the trap about 5 months ago and it's paying them handsomely. The state of YouTube is actually kind of fucking embarrassing, isn't it? It's really exploitable. Content farms like this are a relatively new thing. There was always shitty content, but it wasn't always this robotic. Even the non-content farm true crime channels are just so samey and boring. Explore With Us is alright, but it still sticks to the obnoxious thumbnail gimmick, as well as having videos that are 2 fucking hours long every week. Who has the time to watch this shit in its entirety, even as background audio is just so bland and passionless? Their content being better than most true crime channels really shows the state of the genre and YouTube as a whole. There are so many channels like this, and you can't tell them apart. Just try to. They always have the commercial guy voice with no passion or personality, the use of stock footage because they can't think of anything better to put on the screen, the slideshow of sometimes unrelated images with nothing to break up the monotony. Well, fuck, I mean, at least they actually edit their videos. That's kind of a luxury on this platform at this point, but the content is still so samey. Try playing a video from Dr. Insanity, Mind of a Criminal, or Courtroom back to back and see if you can tell them apart. You won't be able to. That's because they all follow the herd. Someone, JCS I guess to an extent, figured out that this formula of low effort, drab, soul draining content is appealing to a lot of people who don't care about what they actually watch. Even if it's super fake or the creators clearly don't like them. One springs up, it's successful, the others copy it down, and holy shit does it work, it's a vicious cycle. Anyone can make this type of stuff, and you don't have to be talented. JCS clearly did this as a passion because he knew a lot of the terminology, and he got really deep into the cases, but now you can just blankly state what's clearly happening on the screen for all to see and get millions of views. That doesn't mean there aren't good true crime channels out there like Coffee House Crime and, sort of Explore With Us, kinda, and, there's others, just give me a sec, I'll think of one. But why even try making good content in this genre when the biggest channels look like this, and they can get away with it perfectly fine? This content is spreading like the plague because it works, but the people who watch it are the real problem here, much like a lot of these situations. Do you think these content farms are ridiculous now? People still have to edit and kinda voice them. I bet you in 2030, if YouTube is still a thing, people could get away with making actual AI-generated content, basically giving the program a general theme and essentially having it print the video out for you. And you know, the brain-dead people who watch this shit probably won't even be able to tell the difference at all because they don't care about quality anyways. It kind of reminds me of the primitive build videos thing that was going on a few years back. Only at least in that case, the creators actually had to go out and do something, real or fake. In this case, you could be the most untalented average person ever and just edit together publicly available court clips with an AI voice. I've said it before and I'll say it again, try to demand better, or at least avoid this type of shit because it baffles me that no one cares. Anyways, that's all I really have to say about these. It was definitely an entertaining video to make, but one that makes me depressed at the same time. If you liked the video, then make sure to go to Courtroom Consequences and like all their videos and subscribe to them. Thanks for watching, bye!